What's going on, North Texas barbecue addicts? It's me, Kenneth, and in today's video, we're busting out a rotisserie accessory for my slow and sear kettle. We've got a black Angus prime rib from Six Brothers Beef Company. We're going to get it nice and flavored up with all kinds of goodness, guys. This is going to be a fun cook. Y'all aren't going to want to miss it. And while I'm at it, I wanted to also mention we've got the website up for all the good stuff, the decals, the hats, the shirts. We've got the new Christmas sweater that's out and hoodies and all kinds of stuff. It's ntxbbqaddicts.com. I'll have all the information down below in the description box, guys. Y'all stick around. Let's get to cooking up this black Angus prime rib. This turned out good, guys. Let's get to it. All right, everybody. Here we have this black Angus prime rib. It's got some beautiful marbling running in it. Check that out. Awesome marbling. It's going to be real nice and tender when we get done with it. We're going to be throwing this on the rotisserie today. We're going to do a little bit different with our binder. I picked this up in my local store. It's got honey, mustard, and dill in it with some Italian truffle. I think that's going to be good. That's going to be our binder. And then we're going to hit it with some awesome 1836 from Suckle Busters right there. So let's go ahead and prep this guy for the rotisserie. It's got a little bit of a fat cap on it, so what I do want to do is get rid of that. I mean, you can leave it if you want, but I prefer just to take that fat cap off. It's got enough fat running through it that this is not going to be any bit of dry. So, and that rotisserie is going to keep it nice and moist the entire cook as well. There we go. You can really see that marbling when you cut that just like that. And you can save that fat for, you know, making burgers or anything like that if you want. I'm just going to come in here and get a little bit more of this fat out. We're going to leave the fat on the tail side right there. We'll leave that alone. Just trying to clean some of this off. This is going to help our rub stick to it better and just give an overall better bite when we go to cut into it and everything. So there we go. That's looking good. You can go at this all day if you want, but again, I really just wanted to reveal the top part of this. Again, check that out. That's beautiful. So I pretty much dabbed it down fairly well already, so it's time to go in with our binder. I'm going to be generous with it. I really want these flavors to infuse into our prime rib here. There we go. I'm just going to brush it on. You can see all the good flavors in there. Nice bits of all kinds of goodness going on. There we go. Just going to paint that down. We're going to rub this down with 1836, putting a good amount on it, and you'll see how easily it sticks to it because of our binder there. I'll have the information down below for Suckle Busters and Six Brothers Beef. Y'all check them out. Got lots of good stuff happening there. There we go. Man, that's sticking really good. Let's go ahead and turn this up. Turn up! Let's go ahead and get this over here. Smells awesome. Nice peppery flavor in this rub. Great beef flavor, obviously. So there it is. I love me some 1836. I almost went with lemon pepper garlic. Campfire steak would have been good. Obviously SPG would be just fine. We're going to get this nice and coated though. This is a big hunk of meat. We have this bottom side right here. I'm going to pour a little bit more of our binder here on it. There we go. This is smelling good already. Tons of marbling through here. I did want to mention I cut a thick steak off of this bad boy that we'll be using for another cook later on down the road. Picked up another type of olive oil to check out, and we'll try that out on that thick cut of steak when we do a different video. So this is how we're looking, everybody. Looks really good to me. I'm excited to give it a try. We're going to let that set, I'd say, for about 20 or 30 minutes while I'm getting the slow and sear rotisserie set up. Next time I see y'all, we'll get this onto the skewer for the rotisserie, and then we'll get it onto the slow and sear kettle. We're going to be using the sides for the heat, so we're going to put a setup of charcoal and wood on one side and a setup of charcoal and wood on the other on the slow and sear. And the idea is the rotisserie is going to have it cooking evenly while it's doing that. So y'all stick around, and next time I see y'all, we'll get this on the skewer and we'll get to cooking. It's been about 15 minutes or so letting that seasoning and everything set up. I want to get about as middle as the point of the steak that I can, just because we don't want it falling off at any point in time. There we go. Let's stab that in. There, just like that. And you're going to bring this side in also. And get that in as close as possible to the end of our steak. And then we're going to tighten that down, just like that right there. So there's our skewered steak right there, looking good, smells awesome. The charcoal's getting finished, getting heated up, and next time I see y'all, we're going to toss this onto the rotisserie, and we're going to get to cooking. Alright y'all, so we've got this ready, nice and seasoned up. We're going to get this into our spit here, our rotisserie. There we go, that's what we're looking like. What we got here is 2 zones of heat, and the idea is while it's rotating, it's just going to completely cook evenly. So we want to go ahead and get this guy on. There we go. Y'all can see it's rotating right now. We got some cherry wood chips in here, and I went ahead and put about 3/4 of a charcoal chimney worth of Kingsford, completely lit up. So we're going to be getting cherry wood smoke. We've got our vent. I'm going to close it down just a little bit. Clean some of that out. We've got our vent about 1/4 of the way open, and we're gonna put the smoke going this way so it gets as much smoke on our prime rib as possible, completely open. So that's the setup for the rotisserie. We're gonna check on this bad boy, I'd say in 10-ish minutes, just to see how we're going. Not sure how long this is gonna take. Originally, before I cut that one thick steak off of it, it was 6 pounds, right over 6 pounds. So we're going to let this ride, but we are going to check on it in 10 minutes, and when we do, I'll bring y'all back. Y'all stick around. Alright everybody, we are 10 minutes into this cook. Starting to get a nice smoky color on it. What we are going to do now is we're going to go ahead and baste it a little bit. But before we baste it, I do want to see what the internal temperature is. What we're going to do now is I'm going to baste it a little bit, but what I want to do is see what the internal temperature is before we get to doing that. So let's turn the rotisserie off, right there. We're going to check with our Inkbird here. You use whatever internal thermometer you want to use. We're rolling about 350 temp-wise on the smoker. We're still really low. We're in the 40s. It came straight out of the fridge, so that's what we wanted to see. We wanted to make sure it wasn't cooking too high, too hard. We're rolling about 350, which is good. What we did here is in this baste, it's minced garlic, and then I have some olive oil that's infused with basil and garlic as well. Let me go ahead and turn this guy on, and we'll rotate it around while we're basting it. How about that? Get this on here. This is going to put some nice, amazing flavors. The good thing about rotisserie also is everything you're putting onto your cut of meat, whatever it is, if it's steak or chicken or any of that, it's ultimately dropping off into the fire and releasing those flavors right into the air, into that smoke. So we're just going to get this basted up with this minced garlic and everything. That olive oil, and I did add a little bit more of the 1836 in there as well. We're trying to get these in the crevices. Got some nice rendering happening on the tail here. This is the first time I've cooked on a rotisserie, so I'm showing y'all my experience while I do it. I don't claim to know everything, I just claim to love cooking, so that's what we're doing here. Got a little 1836 in this, like I said. This should really put some nice garlic flavors and that basil into our crust when we go to cut into it. It's a big old chunk of meat, so it can take it. There we go. If y'all could smell this, I don't know about you, I love garlic, so if y'all could smell this, if you love garlic, you'd be as happy as I am. So we're going to go ahead and shut this bad boy down. It's already dripping goodness. We're going to put the exhaust over the meat again, because that's where we're chilling mostly with our steak. I'm going to bring y'all back in 15 minutes and we'll see where we're at. We're really trying to build a crust right now, since we're not going to technically be searing this. We're just really counting on that high heat and that open exposure to the fire to really get our steak nice and crusted over, and we're still shooting for a medium rare, so y'all stick around. Alright, barbecue addicts, we are 15 minutes later. Before I open this lid, I just can't really even describe the garlic flavors that we're smelling already. Garlic flavors, no. Alright, barbecue addicts, before I open this lid, I can't even explain the garlic aroma that's going on in the air. We've got the cherry wood, the 1836 beef rub. All the good stuff is happening right here in this slow and sear rotisserie kettle. We're rolling about 325. It's been 15 minutes later. Let's see what we're looking like. Ooh, boy. That is looking beautiful. Starting to get some nice crust building up. We've got some good rendering happening right here. That garlic is really adhering to the top of our steak, which is exactly what we want. Again, this is a big cut of beef, so it can take all this flavor on the outside. And then think about it, when you cut into the inside of it, it's got zero seasoning in it. So this isn't the same as cooking a regular steak. Let's stop this and see where we're at. Whoo-wee. Boy, I can't even acknowledge the smells that are happening right now. Let's see where we're at. 64 degrees, still rolling slow. That's the beautiful thing about cooking on a rotisserie is it's not like we're direct cooking it, so we're going to keep cooking it. I can tell just by probing it that it's kind of the only word I can think of is chewy still, so we don't want that with our steak. We want it to be cooked through, firm, snug. That's how you know it's cooked. The crust is building up. That's what a rotisserie does. We're going to add some more cherry wood chips to this. Use whatever you'd like, but this is what we're using today. You could use oak, you could use hickory, pecan. Cherry's going to put a nice light smoke on this prime rib. It's really going to allow that black Angus to shine. There we go. That's looking beautiful. And me and my buddy Justin, we were talking about it earlier. If it was hotter outside, we could leave this open and let it really ride out and just open fire cook completely. But this is already going to take a little bit, as it is a big cut of beef. And it's cold outside today, about 28, 30 degrees, give or take. So there we go. Love the smell of cherry wood. We're going to turn this bad boy back on. And keep on cooking. I'm going to bring y'all back in, I'd say, let's say 20 minutes. We'll see y'all back. Alright, people. It's really been about 25 minutes total. Ooh-wee. Check that out. When you think rotisserie, this is exactly what you're looking for. I mentioned that our baste had minced garlic, a little bit of 1836, and some infused olive oil. I didn't show y'all which one I had, though. This is the garlic and basil, so that was mixed into our baste that we were using earlier. Just wanted to let y'all know that. The charcoal is burning down now, so I'm going to go from using wood chips to chunks, still cherry. I'm going to put 2 decent-sized chunks on each side, because ultimately I'm looking for smoke flavor, not really charcoal flavor. We've got enough of that. We're going to use, I can't believe it's not butter, to spritz our steak with now. And the reason I'm using I can't believe it's not butter is it actually has a better burning factor. It doesn't it can handle higher heats, so that's why we're using that today. Butter tends to burn, so man, look at that flavor. Look at that color on this steak. It smells amazing. This butter, or not butter, is going to make it even better. So let's go ahead and see what the temperature is. Whoo-wee, that's smelling good. Stop that bad boy right there. Whew, man, got that cherry wood catching in there. Comment down below, what's your favorite smoke when you're using smoke for steak? We're still in the 70 degrees. Let's see here. Let's see if I believe that. 100 right there. It's running clean. Running clean. Yeah. So we're running good. We're just building up a great crust on this bad boy, which I am perfectly okay with. Let's go ahead and turn this back on. Get it rolling. I'm going to spray a little bit more here. Man, oh man. You know what's awesome about spray butter? One for your homies. There we go. Alright guys, I'm going to shut this bad boy down. Smelling great. Again, the beautiful thing about rotisserie is building that internal temperature up slowly, getting that smoke flavor infused into it, and just making all these flavors combined together for an awesome turnout. So next time I see y'all, we're going to pull this bad boy off. I'm not just going to keep bringing you back every time. Next time we see y'all, this guy's going to be done. We're going to let it rest. We're going to slice into it. We've got some Caesar salad we're going to eat with this prime rib. It's going to be beautiful. Y'all stick around. Alright people, I told you I was going to bring you back when we checked it or pulled it off to let it rest, but I think we got to baste it with a little bit more of our can't believe it's not butter. Again, you can baste it with real butter, but it's got a lower burn factor, which means it could potentially make your steak char a lot more than you're looking for. We're just looking for a natural crust from our heat. We're right around 300 degrees. Got a good flavor profile building up. That is one thing that's awesome about this rotisserie. I don't have to move it around at all. It's just doing it for me. We're just gonna hit it up with this butter. Lots of different things you could do here. You could baste it with red wine. You could do, you know, obviously all different types of infused olive oils. Just the options are endless, but we're going for a really beefy, herbal, garlicky prime rib. So there we go. We're rolling right around 300. Let's turn this guy off and see what we're looking like here internally. This is looking beautiful. There we go. Again, it's colder outside, which is a main factor of how everything turns out. We're right in the middle area, which is where you want to be reading. We're about 83 degrees. Bitch. Alright, again, it is cold outside, so this is going to take a little bit longer than your typical cook. We're right around, right under 90 degrees, which is perfect. The juices are flowing good. We're starting to get some great crust on it, which is the benefit of rotisserie cooking. So we're going to turn this guy right back on and just keep cooking. So we're just going to keep cooking. So next time I see y'all, we're really going to pull that off. I'm going to probably spray it at least one more time. I'd say we've got about 30 minutes left on this. We're shooting for medium rare, again, in the middle of the steak. So when you're using your probe, keep that in mind. Don't probe to the edge of the steak, probe to the center of the steak, because that'll allow you some awesome medium rare cuts if that's the temperature internally you're looking for. So the cherry wood's flowing, smelling great, the garlic, the butter, the 1836, the beef. Next time I see y'all, we're going to cut into this bad boy. We got Caesar salad and prime rib. What gets better than that? Alright y'all, so total cook time, it took about 2.5 hours. And we fluctuated anywhere from 350 degrees to 225. We were adding those cherry chunks at the end to keep that fire going. And we used some Kingsford charcoal. And we put about 3/4 of a chimney of Kingsford charcoal divided between the two sides on the slow and sear kettle there. This smells amazing. Y'all saw we basted it, we sprayed it. There's all kinds of goodies going on in this. Look at that. Boy. So it's been resting for about, I'd say, 30 minutes now. Got plenty of time to collect those juices. Let's get this onto the cutting board, just like that. We're going to save these juices to pour them back on here in a sec, right to the side there. Let's actually rotate this over and loosen this clamp here. Smells like garlic, smells like cherry wood. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. So much tenderness happening here. Hold on. Let's get that guy off right there. This smells insanely good with the cherry wood. Got a great crust on it. Look at that. Let me rinse my hands off real quick. Alright, so we got beautiful crust on here. All kinds of flavors built up. Check that color out. Let's go ahead and cut into it. There we go. Look at that. Insanely great. Look at that, guys. So much juices. Again, check out Six Brothers Beef Company and Suckle Busters. I'll have all that information down below in the description box. We cooked this on a slow and sear kettle today, so if you're looking for a new kettle, they've got some great ones as well. But This is an amazing way to cook your Christmas prime rib, rotisserie style. A lot of people typically roast it in an oven, which is fine as well, but I'd say we accomplished a perfect medium rare cook, depending on the section of the steak that you get. And I saved a good old chunk of steak. Look, this is where we're at. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm about to cut into this and give it a little taste test. Before we give the official taste test, I got some friends over. I got my kiddo right here ready to try some. Let them try some real quick. Look at the color, look at the char, beautiful smoke flavor, completely juicy. Alright guys, again, I brought y'all along on my very first cook on my rotisserie accessory for the slow and sear kettle. Look at that beautiful prime rib. We got the Caesar salad. We infused it with all kinds of flavors, butter, garlic, basil, all kinds of goodness, honey, dill. Man, there's really, the list can go on, but check that out. Beautiful juiciness. Again, I'll have Suckle Buster's information down below in the description box, as well as Six Brothers Beef Company. Take advantage of that NTBA10 code. Get you 10% off your total purchase at Six Brothers Beef. Let's take a bite of this prime rib. Cheers, y'all. The amount of smokiness that's on there is so good, but when I say this, I mean it completely. The smoke is pure, so it's there, but it's not too heavy. You can definitely tell that it was smoked, but that crust is amazing. We've got the Caesar salad. Who doesn't like salad with steak, guys? Let's go. Hopefully everybody out there has a great Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Thank you for subscribing. Check out ntxbbqaddicts.com. Pick you up one of these sweatshirts, hats, decals, regular shirts, all the above, cutting boards, you name it, we've got it. But appreciate y'all for stopping by. Until next time, peace! Y'all keep on barbecuing. I got steak and salad to eat. Later, y'all.